Deadline is looming for laying charges against the company responsible for one of the worst environmental disasters in BC history. On August 4th, 2014, a dam broke at Imperial Metals Mount Polley copper and gold mine, sending 24 million cubic meters of toxic water and mine tailings into Polley Lake, Hazeltine Creek, and Quesnel Lake. 2 years ago, the deadline to file provincial charges against the company expired, and now environmentalists say the deadline to file federal charges is about to expire as well. Our Legislative Bureau Chief Keith Baldry joins us from Victoria with more on this. And Keith, there's concern that the company responsible could get off scot-free.
Well, that's definitely a possibility, Sophie. It's hard to believe it's been almost 5 years to the day since that disaster unfolded, all that toxic water flooded into Quesnel Lake. But there has been a 4.5-year investigation from officials from Environment Canada, Fisheries and Oceans BC, and the BC Conservation Service. That report was handed over to the Federal Public Prosecutor Service back in April. They've been sitting on it for a few months now. They have until Sunday to determine whether or not they're going to file a charge under the Fisheries Act, which is the lowest charge they can come up with, which would still expose the company potentially to a fine of $8 million. But Joe Foy of the wilderness community, other environmentalists say this is an important decision to be made here, and wonders whether mining companies are going to be treated differently than other companies when it comes to incidents such as this. Here's Joe Foy.
Getting right down to the wire here, it's very important that charges are laid. The whole mining industry is looking at this, as well as many Canadians are wondering, are the rich and powerful, are the big mining companies going to be held to the same standards as the rest of us are? And Canadian justice, I think, is on the line here.
Now, Sunday is just one deadline the company faces. It's a 5-year window for charges to be laid under the Fisheries Act. However, if the federal government or the prosecution service decides to go the direct indictment route, there is no timeline on that. They can lay that charge now or next year. Again, there's no timeline on a much more serious charge, because that would expose the company potentially to a fine of up to $12 million. So one deadline on Sunday, but there's no deadline on the more serious charge under direct indictment.